Good evening. The Childress Chamber of Commerce would like to welcome you to the Candidates Forum this evening. We are pleased to sponsor this event and hope that you leave here with as much knowledge as possible about the candidates running for the different positions. First, we'd like to thank you, the voters, that submitted the questions for tonight's forum, and let you know that we had almost 40 questions submitted, both for school and city council and mayor positions. We would like to thank Marsha Meacham and her staff for allowing us to be here this evening and for the setup that they did for us. And we would like to thank the committee that worked on the questions. They spent right at 2 hours working on these questions. They took all of them, went through them. We had some questions that were duplicate questions or very similar, and they will have combined some of those, but we will give credit to all of the authors that turned in information for those questions. The committee was comprised of community members, Leslie Bruce, Gary Clark, Susan Keener, and Sheriff Mike Pigg. Board members for the Chamber of Commerce that were involved were Camille Cano, Glenda Cribbs, and Isabel Hernandez. We thank all of you for your service in that respect. I'd like to introduce the Chamber Board to you tonight, and if you are here, if you would please stand. President Lisa Campbell, Vice President Kevin Latimer, Secretary Isabel Hernandez, Treasurer Charles Hall, Board Member Camille Cano, Board Member Tam Cash, Board Member Amber Henderson, Board Member Glenda Cribbs, and Board Member Ginger Wilson. Thank you for your service and support of this event. I want to remind everyone this is a listen and learn event. You had an opportunity to submit questions, and so tonight you will get to hear the answer to those questions and what the candidates have to say about those. Housekeeping, restrooms are outside. We should be here. They're all wanting to know how long we're going to be here. Well, I don't know, but I would think we'd be through in an hour and a half to 2 hours. Maybe quicker for some. We'll go over some other items here in a few minutes, but the first person that's going to speak tonight is going to speak from the Childress Economic Development Corporation. This will be Bill Hasloff, a board member. Bill?
Thank you, Susan. I've got some short remarks I'd like to make, but before I go into that, there's one thing that coming over here tonight that I thought about. You know, it's very easy to complain and point fingers at people and say they're not doing their job. That's the easy thing to do. We can sit around the coffee shops and do that. The hard thing to do is doing what these folks are doing. They've taken the step. They put their name on the line. They're running for an office to make something in this town a little better. And for that, I applaud you and I thank you very much. I'm here to address about a situation that we've already passed once, but it went so well the first time, we're going to give you a second opportunity to pass it. Back in 2011, on the election, or that election that year, there was an item, a proposition, not worded like this one, but exact as this one, to change the Childress Economic Development Corporation from a Type A corporation, which we are right now, to a municipal development district. You ask why? In 1996, when Childress passed the election initially for the Type A Economic Development Corporation, that was all that was available to towns of our size. Since that time, the laws have changed and things have opened up as far as projects and what have you that small town EDCs can do. We met in 2010, we met down in Austin with the attorneys at TML and with the idea of having a vote change from Type A to a Type B. In the course of visiting with the attorneys there, they said, well, why don't you just make it a municipal development district? Not knowing what it was, we got them to explain to it, what it is, it helps towns of our size because it opens those funds up for things that we can do that otherwise we couldn't do. There was a sheet handed out to you. If you'll look at that when you get a chance, it shows what projects type A EDCs can have, and it shows what projects that municipal development districts can have. The thing that concerns me is the legalese on this. When you get to the ballot box, either May the 5th, if you vote on election day, or early voting, which starts Monday, you're going to see a very wordy proposition. And I don't know if y'all are like I am, but if I'm not fully informed and I go to the ballot box and I see something that I don't understand or I haven't read through or been informed on, I will generally just not vote on it. If I do vote on it, I'll usually vote no, because I would rather, err on that side rather than pass something that I would regret later. So that's what concerns me about this, is this proposition, and it's going to be the only one you're going to see, but it is very wordy. So with that being in mind, I want to put one word in your mind: vote yes. That's it. Vote yes. Because what this will do, it will correct the problem that we had, the election that we had in 2011. For some reason, the results, it passed overwhelmingly, first of all, but for some reason the results didn't get sent to the proper place in Austin. And here, just within the last year, we've come to find out that they still had us operating as a Type A EDC, which we had not been operating as such. So this election is to correct that wrong. This is basically what we're looking at and what we're doing with it. So it's going to say words such as taxes, what have you. Nothing is going to change on the taxes. All we're doing is moving the same dollars from one place to another place. So with that in mind, don't look at it. And again, since it is such a wordy proposition, we're asking any friends, neighbors, what have you that you might be around, voice this to them too. It's very positive for our community. It's something that we need to continue functioning as. If you've seen some of the projects that we've been able to do as a municipal development district, the facade grants, which we work with Susan and our Main Street program on in downtown, where we're cleaning up some of the facades of the buildings, getting new paint put on them and what have you. The rendering of the new Visitor Center. Excuse me, I couldn't remember. The new Visitor Center is one of the projects that, if this fails, we will not be able to continue to do those kind of things. So it's very important that this project goes forward and that we do get it done. So don't want to linger any longer. Again, it's a very wordy proposition, but look at it, read it, and then vote yes for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. Okay. City, you will be heads. School, you will be tails. This will determine on how we do at the beginning of our program. Ready? So, we will go in the order they are. Let me say, the candidates are sitting in the order that they are on the ballot. Okay? So what did I say? City? Yes. All right, so the city goes first, so we're going to start with our mayor's candidates. They have 3 minutes to give